is about 190 because it forms what's called an azeotrope with water. You have to process it further to get it to 200. So basically at atmospheric conditions, it wants to suck the water back in. So every time we open up our reservoirs of ethanol, it's just absorbing the moisture back in. So we're dropping solid dry ice into the solvent to chill it, which if you've ever seen dry ice, you see the smoke in the air and everything, right? That's what they're always like. That's a smoky effect. That's not the CO2 you're seeing. That's actually water vapor in the air. Water vapor is less soluble in cold air. That's why in the winter you always get dry lips and everything. There's less moisture in the air. So it crashes all that water vapor out of the air, and then we get all this moisture on top of the surface, and then the solvent sucks it down into it. So we're watering down our solvent with the dry ice, which is kind of shitty how we are right now. I don't want to nerd out too much on the chemistry, but as the CO2 bubbles through the solution, the extra water in there makes carbonic acid. Now we're lowering the pH. Now we're isomerizing the cannabinoids. We're losing the CBD, but we're solving the problem. We got our chillers getting set up right now, but we chill it down to about minus 40 C, which is equal to minus 40 F. That's where the Celsius Fahrenheit gradient crosses, is at minus 40. It's kind of weird. Makes a little X on it. But chill down to minus 40, and then we soak the hemp. We do about 60 pounds at a time. Soak it for about 10 minutes, and then put it through 100 micron sock, then a 25 micron sock, 1 micron sock down to a 0.4 micron sock. And then we push it through carbon pads, which will absorb all the chlorophyll that's been extracted. If we can get it down to minus 60, we'd pull no chlorophyll, which is ideally where we're trying to get. But basically, we don't have to winterize because we're doing the cryogenic extraction. So we pull it through all those filters, and then we put it through solvent recovery. We do a falling film evaporator, pull it out, and then we get the crude at the bottom. Then we put it through a wiped film distillation apparatus where we distill out the cannabinoids. But the problem with that is the THC distills out with the CBD. And federally, we're not allowed to have more than 0.3% THC, which is the bottleneck for a lot of the CBD business right now. The real solution is to make it isolate. They just soak it in hexane and crash out the CBD, and then you leave all the THC behind. But the best solution is chromatography columns, where you just soak it through basically a big bed of sand where the CBD and THC fall through at different rates, so you can separate them out, which is what we're getting set up right now. They've invested about $4 million in these columns and the solvent distribution systems. It's kind of insane. What up? This is Tori. She's popping in real quick. Say what's up.
Well, hello.
But yeah, dude. The facility I work at it's pretty fucking badass, man. It's either these guys have wasted $20 million or it's going to be a kick-ass facility.
I mean,
it's all up in the air, dude.
I think that's probably how I would have. You guys are good. Oh.
I was hoping when he was talking about it, he would go full Bill Nye, and I would not understand most of it, and it totally happened, and I'm excited.
I didn't understand 8% of it.
That's actually what I wanted. I wanted him to go full Bill Nye.
I was trying not to nerd out too hard. I was trying to catch myself. I was like, all right, man, you're going too far.
There's about 17 words in there and nobody understood. That was amazing.
That's what we wanted.
I want to try on them Micron socks. I bet them are comfortable.
Right?
Yeah. Basically, honestly, bubble bag, that's what we do our extraction in, a 200 micron bubble bag.
Oh yeah, for hash.
I know what I'm talking about. What you make bubble hash out of?
Yeah, the hash thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of the most bubble bags are you have a plastic rim and then the filter on the bottom. The bubble bags we use are all the 200 micron sock, and we just zip them up, soak it in there, and then we take that and then we filter it out into a 100 micron 25.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing that? Because I know you moved to the Springs recently, but you've been working there for a little while.
Yeah, I've been working there since January.
Okay. Were you doing any extraction before that?
No, I pretty much just graduated college. I went to college. I studied biochemistry. That was my goal, was to go out and do extraction. Moved out here, and then I got the MED badge, the marijuana division badge, so I could work in a THC lab. And then I interviewed, and this was the job that was going to pay me the most, was the CBD facility. So
Yeah. And I
mean,
think it's huge. I mean, there's a lot of them popping up over here.
dude, the spot I work at is like 80,000 square feet. It was an old
Holy shit.
mattress factory. Yeah,
Damn.
it was an old mattress factory. It's huge.
Wow.
We have scooters all over the place. We just ride scooters around. It's like so big we can't walk around. Like,
Damn.
it's pretty badass, dude.
Scooters? Wait, you guys are hiring
Like
right?
a Razor scooter, dude. Like, yeah, dude. I mean, for real, we're
Busting
busting
the-
a lot of people out here.
Busting
in
the
October,
tail
like,
up on your lunch break or what?
Oh, dude.
October.
We had hoverboards and shit. Like, they told us weren't allowed to ride the hoverboards anymore because someone had a push broom, and the owner caught him because we have like the CCTV all over the facility, and the owner like checked the cameras at like 1 a.m. and dude was riding around with like a push broom on a hoverboard trying to like mop the floor or whatever, and he was like, he's like, you guys are fucking around, you can't use those anymore. Like, they took them away from us. We were like, man, like.
That seems like the most effective way to do it with the push
I
broom.
mean, right? Why you hating on him? He's
I wouldn't
innovative,
wanna-
dude. Like,
I wouldn't wanna try it any other way.
Like, that's smart, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I've used a push broom before, and it's like that's the only thing is how fast you can walk. Like I can sleep as fast as I can
Limiting
walk,
factor,
right?
Oh, what could go wrong though? I
Let's
mean,
add some horsepower. Let's
There's
add
no
some
flaws
horsepower.
in that thing.
I like it. So, this is a question I asked a lot. How long has everybody been streaming for? I'm just curious. Let's go down the list. DTL, how long have you been streaming for?
a year, a little bit over a year.
And do you stream
But
like?
that was like literally not even having streamed at all or gamed in like 12 years. Literally, I started playing Fortnite, saw a bunch of Fortnite streamers, saw streaming. I was like, oh my God, and then bought a bunch of computer shit and started streaming immediately.
I like it.
Fantastic.
Very
What does
much
the
what
family
happened.
think about it? Like, what is the family? Are they all in?
Oh yeah. My woman's totally with it. Like my youngest kid actually wants to stream, but the rest of them just don't give a shit. Basically, they just think it's like me talking to a camera. They don't see the appeal of it. They're like, why would anyone watch you talking into a camera? Like I don't even understand. Like I see you talking. I wish you would fucking stop. So I don't understand why you want to watch it.
It's so weird
Yeah,
to
which
have
I
the
kind of
conversation.
get. I mean, that's a good kid perspective. I think that's healthy. If they liked my stream, I'd be more scared. I think.
If they like that.
Yeah, that would make them a really weird kid. Like it would be unusual for them to be like, "My dad's stream is awesome," and like be a super fan. That'd be kind of strange.
That would be weird, I think. Yeah. I wouldn't be a fan of my dad's stream, right? Would anybody be a
Right,
fan
I
of their
don't think
dad's
I would
stream?
be.
Anybody subbing to their dad?
I subbed to my
Pretty
dad.
normal.
I feel like I would just have to help my
to call
dad.
him daddy all the time. Is that the same? No.
Yeah. Oh
I
man,
subbed to Daddy Dasher.
Daddy Dasher. All right, let's keep going on this question. I like it. How long have you been streaming Self-Destruct?
I was on YouTube for about a year, and then everyone's like, "Why would you stream on YouTube when there's Twitch?" And I was like, "Good point." So I came to Twitch about 2 years ago, and I've been here since.
Nice. Do you still stream on YouTube at all, or just stopped it altogether?
No.
Was it an easy transition for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I mostly streamed games, so it just made more sense, I think, to come to Twitch, where that's kind of already the paradigm. Whereas I felt like 3 years ago, people on YouTube weren't really streaming video games as much as they were streaming like IRL type stuff and like singer-songwriters playing guitar in their bedroom, that type of thing.
Yeah. And how long they've had streaming on YouTube for 3 years?
At least,
Right,
I
at
think they
least.
probably introduced it probably 5 or 6 years ago.
It's something that I don't think about because I don't really watch anybody there. Sometimes I'll catch something live, but like it's not too often, you know. But it's interesting. I don't think they have a way to browse live content, do they? Like you can't just.
Truthfully, I don't know. I've never really been much of a YouTube stream watcher. That's part of why I came to Twitch too, is I found myself watching more Twitch content and going, okay, like I can do something.
And I think that's why a lot of people are just on Twitch, because that's where most people are watching live streams. It's where you're going to probably have the chance to get the most exposure, even if you're doing something that's oversaturated. It's probably a little easier. But I don't know. There's people on other platforms killing it. So it's just a matter of of what you can do, I guess.
Finding the people.
Finding the people. Let's keep on this one. Oozebrood, how long have you been streaming for?
So I've been streaming a year in October, and I started out streaming graffiti sticker art and sewer streams. I did like geocaching in a sewer. And so yeah, you know, I really was only on Instagram before I came to Twitch, and so I came to Twitch kind of seeing IRL, seeing Hitch and Mike Sy and all of them, and saying, hey, I like this type of content, maybe I can be a part of it. And so, boom, here we are, almost a year.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that you found those streams, because those are cool streams, and you definitely put on a good stream, so that's what's up. And how about Juhlopy? How long have you been streaming for, bud?
Right around 2.5 years, I think. Started out playing a game called iRacing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had the wheel and pedals and all of that jazz, and was really into it. So
Pretty popular,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's super popular. I just had to take a break from it. It's a really toxic community, so I was like, I can get away from it for a bit. I hate to say it, because I love it. I love the actual racing, but it's so toxic.
Is it like League of Legends?
I've actually heard that from people who can't stream it because of the community.
It's really bad. It's taken me like a year away from it almost to get my stream like community back to the positive side of people and things like that. And yeah, so I started doing that. I don't really do that very much anymore. Play a lot of Apex and stuff now. Just different games that I have fun with. 2.5 years, I think. Yeah.
2.5 years.
My stream anniversary is 420.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's pretty dope.
420. I'm excited for that. Mine, I think about this. Mine was 4 days after 420, and I know exactly what I was doing on 420. That's why I didn't start streaming. I was just out at every single dispensary, getting every single deal, getting all the free swag that they have, and the free hot dogs outside, and some places give away popsicles, and some places have raffles. I just went to every fucking dispensary I could on 420 and got as much shit as I could. So I think about this. I'm like, I was just too busy on 420 to start streaming. But that would be a cool anniversary. I started 4 days after.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We celebrate it quite a bit when we stream that day. It's a fun stream.
But for me, I get to have a nice 420 stream, and then 4 days later, I get that 1 year celebration stream. So it's like, you know, your birthday and then Christmas being a few days apart, something like that. Something like that. But what about you, GroovyShally? Let's keep this question going. How long have you been streaming? Talk to us about the origins of GroovyShally on streaming.
Oh, it's about to be a year. And actually on Halloween. So I started streaming about almost a year ago. I started watching a lot of basically Twitch streaming about 2 years ago, because I was going through like a couple things, like I was fighting my depression and stuff like that. And so I found myself relating to a lot of people, and I was like, okay, what the hell? Like, this is awesome. Like, I play video games too, and I also can relate to people's content, and I was really impacted by that. So kind of worked on myself, and then I went to streaming on Halloween. And I started doing 420 streams, and I started doing things like that just because I was really passionate about it. And then I arised from that and wanted to push it more. So it's about to be a year.
Nice. About to be a year. I think I've just been streaming a little over a year. Like I said, I started on 4 days after 420 or some shit like that. But a lot of people I've talked to at least got a year of streaming, and I like it. It's hard to do and hard to stay consistent, so that's good for making it over a year. And what about you, Htooms? Tell us a little bit about the origins of you in streaming. Maybe what got you started, how long you've been doing it.
What